We got this. So let me go ahead and get in here and get live. Tag you on Facebook.
Okay. Where'd my lash go?
Yeah, we're going on. Okay. Okay. A little movement in there. Get some movement to get it right.
I have both of my lashes here and I don't see one.
You want to go grab it?
Yeah, I'm gonna grab it really quick.
Turn your camera off.
Okay.
I had a pen. All right. Hey now, hey.
Hey.
Okay, so let me come back over here so I can see who's in the building. Do it that way. Hey to the people. You know,
hello.
As you come on in, let us know you're here. Say hi to Sherry. Comment as we go through. We got some special goodies in store for you. It's Dialogue with Mo. Tell the Truth Thursday. I got you on Thursday again.
Yes. I was just about to say.
It's not intentional. It's just.
Oh my God.
And
well, we definitely gonna tell the truth.
Right. Hey, Sans. I see my Sans Lena is on, and you know she is a diva.
I love her. Hey, Lena.
Yes. And so let's see if I can see anything else. Let me open it up. Make sure everything is down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there we go. So it's Tell the Truth Thursday. Remember, August is the month of promotion. It's the month of promotion. We're going to bring it all together at the end of August with promotion, purpose, and promise with Miss Jennifer. So okay. Right now, what the concept was to promote my friends and those that are close to us, their business and their service for this month.
Yes.
So divinely inspired. So, and then next month we'll get what's the month of September as a prelude for everyone to know. September will be more about the wellness, your physical wellness.
And oh wow!
We'll be dealing in that for September, and we'll also touch in with our children as well. I see a little piece just hanging. There it goes. All right. So as you come in, let us know you're there, and say hi to Sherry.
Hi, everybody.
Not new to the dialogue, which is why we love you.
Oh, thank you.
Amazing things happen since we last talked in June.
Yes.
Amazing. So,
man.
Yeah. Oh, Lena says she's sneaking in a good tutorial. I love it. So, Sherry, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you've been doing since we last spoke with you.
First of all, it doesn't even seem like June was that long ago. I'm like a whole 2 months, really?
Yes. And you.
But a lot can change. But my name is Sherry Danae Player Tucker. I am a makeup artist, have been for the past 17 years, worked for MAC Cosmetics for many of those years, decided to branch off in 2015 with the encouragement of my husband, then boyfriend, to quit, take a chance on myself, and start my freelance business. Happy to finally report that has all come to me finally launching my Cheverlyhillz makeup brand. I began to offer lashes first and was very surprised that I sold out in 6 days. Yeah. I literally thank you to every one of you out there who purchased from me and supported me in that way. Like, I was so scared to even launch anything. So to get that response, thank you so much. And now, at the moment, I have my eyeshadow palette for pre-order. Yes. So this is what's out now. It is all neutral, natural colors for the everyday woman. It's very easy to use. So I wanted to offer that. That officially launches on September 1st, my birthday month. Go for it, go. But it's currently for pre-order now on www.cheverlyhillz.com. And that's a little bit about me.
I love it. And we'll put it in the comments, cheverlyhillz.com. So don't worry. If you see me to the side, it's because I'm typing.
No worries.
Okay, thank you. cheverlyhillz.com. And so, Sherry, what you got planned for us today? You got a sneak for some of the ladies on the line, right?
Right. So most of my makeup is done. I have my foundation, my concealer, my brows, but I'm going to do a very quick eyeshadow tutorial and pop on some lashes and a lip. So I'm hoping that I can get this done in probably like 10, max 15 minutes.
Okay.
Just to show the ladies that it's possible to get ready and zhuzh up. You don't have to do a whole lot. So it's not going to be an intricate eyeshadow lip. It's not going to be a difficult lip. I'm going to show you how to pop it on really quick.
And before you do that, thank you, Brand. I see it. She owned it. She just got it. We got help.
Thank you.
Lord sends help. Amen. But one of the things I wanted to say, and I'm glad you're doing this, because what I've noticed is sometimes we as women think that we don't have time, so we do incomplete looks. Which if you want to go bare, just go bare. Like don't walk around with like an incomplete look.
Exactly. Because then you can really tell that you have makeup on, and that's the whole purpose of makeup. So even if you do a full face, it doesn't have to be dramatic. And I'm really living in that space a lot lately, especially with this quarantine. I started to focus more so on my skincare. So I actually prefer walking around now with a bare face.
Girl, to be able to go like, I'm like, oh, we have a dialogue. Please put your face on. But I need tutorial, so we have a very light face today. So it's your world. Let's do it.
All right. So I'm gonna open up my Cheverlyhillz palette. I can't believe I can say that.
I have purchased mine via pre-order. So people, hey Tina, I see you on there. Tina's good with her makeup too.
Awesome.
Your palettes.
Yep. If you have some eyeshadow you want to follow along at home, feel free, but it's going to go pretty fast because I would love to save the majority of this conversation for the meat and potatoes that Mosi always brings up out of me. So, so here's the palette.
Yes.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with this deep burgundy right here. I'm going to take my blending brush, anything fluffy. If you can see, let me move it. Okay. Boom. I'm going to take that. I'm going to load it up. You want to tap off the excess just a little bit because that's where you get the eyeshadow fallout. So after you pick up the color, make sure you tap it, get rid of that excess color. And I'm just going to go in my crease. I'm going to go back and forth here. So just in here.
I said you have such a pretty crease of your eye.
Thank you.
And one of the things you can is how to create a crease because I don't really have a crease.
Exactly.
Create the crease with the same method that Sherry is using right now.
Okay, so I just have my color on there. I don't know if you can see it too well because of the light, but I just sweep that.
Really good. Yeah.
There you go. So you just sweep that back and forth in crease. I'm going to repeat that on the other side.
A big fluffy brush.
Just so you guys know, we need to give more kudos to makeup YouTubers because it's hard to do your makeup on camera. So hard.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. So I'm just sweeping that. So boom, I have it on both eyes. Nothing too crazy, right?
So as you're putting it on, tell the people when you go to your next step, tell us about how it feels to be working from your own palette.
Oh, it feels like a long time coming, but it also just makes me even more excited because this is just the beginning of what I want to create. So this is real light for what's to come. You know what I mean?
I love it.
So next, I'm gonna take this brown here.
Okay, that's like a camel color, like almost like your skin.
Yeah, it's a cool brown, and I'm using that just to get rid of like the line from this burgundy that I have here. So I don't know what's that on my hand, some type of glitter. Anyway, so I'm just gonna sweep it right above where that line is. The reason why I'm using like a nude color and sweeping it where that color is to kind of give it that natural transition is because you don't want any harsh lines, and the brown blends seamlessly into your skin. Also, it kind of gets rid of that stark white that's under your eyebrow. And we're moving away from that in the makeup industry. Is a lot more about the natural brow. So to have that light color is not really popular. So that kind of helps to get rid of that too. And I'm using my same brush because I want those two colors to merge. So you don't necessarily have to switch brushes.
Love it. So she's using the same fluffy tip brush and blending the colors, blending out the line of where her initial burgundy type color is. Love it. From her own palette, Cheverlyhillz.
I cannot. I cannot believe that. That is so crazy to me still.
Yes, Tyrone called you the makeup guru. Yes.
Wow.
My total instructor. Hey, Spesh, I see you on there. Your Sans Carry is on.
Hey. So I have that blended out. Mm-hmm. You don't see any harsh lines. And last thing I'm going to do, so you just know it's like a real quick, you don't have to go super hard with your makeup. I'm just going to pop on this color here all over my lid. It's kind of like a rusted copper with a little bit of a rose gold. Ooh. So I'm just going to put that on my lid.
3 colors, 3 steps.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. So when the lady's like, I don't have time. Yes, you have time if you want to make the time.
Right. I think because people have it like misconstrued with what complete is supposed to be. So a lot of the like really dramatic eye makeups, they look really pretty when you see it on Instagram, but it's not something that you can attain within 30 minutes on a daily basis. And that's okay.
Sherry, that's one of my, hey Tracy, I want to say, hi Tracy, thanks for being a consistent viewer. Thank you. And so Sherry, that's one of the things that amazes me. When you tell a woman how long it's going to actually take to do her whole face, they're like, oh my God. It's like, no, like the looks you see on the magazines and on the online are time looks. Like there's transitions you need incorporated, colors and blending and brushes and what you have. So be patient with your makeup artist. If you want this complete look, don't be trying to rush her. I'm telling you.
Right.
We don't actually have people like that anymore.
So I have that on my lid.
Ooh, pretty.
And all I'm gonna do now is pop on a lash and some mascara.
Lashes and mascara. I love the color on your. She said, Brand said you taught her how to do her makeup over 20 years ago. Yes. You use any color on her eyes, girl. And this is when I started my business. People don't understand. I didn't know how to do makeup. I had to call you like, so I put this eyeliner on.
I was like, how do I do this? Let me get my palette. All right, so the lash that I'm using today is also one of my lashes that will be available very soon once I restock, because you guys took me all the way up. This is my, which way is this camera? Let me see if you can see it if I put my hand up.
Yep, perfect.
There we go. So
what I ordered and was sold out when I went back.
Yeah, it's super lightweight.
Yeah.
You're not even going to be able to tell you have it on. I'm going to have to use my other mirror to put it on, though.
Okay.
So, last trick. You always want to have your glue out before you even start so it can get kind of tacky. Mm-hmm. So, by the time you get to your lash application, the glue is tacky and it won't slide all over the place. Yes. So, I like to sit it right in the middle of my eye first.
Okay.
And then I'll slide it over to where I want it to end. And I'll take the front part and I'll just stick that down.
And ladies, practice makes perfect.
This is not a one-time thing. This is literally years and years of me doing this on people and myself.
Yeah. Gorgeous.
So super natural.
You know, you were the first person that put lashes on me.
Really?
Yes. Remember, I was like, please lash thingies. You was like, come over.
Man, I'm actually putting on like a little bit of extra glue here because it was kind of almost dry at the end. So that's all I'm doing there.
That's what on the tip of your brush?
Yeah, just I'm using like a small angle brush.
With a little bit of, gotcha.
All right, let me pop on the other one. How many minutes are we at?
You know what? I think we're at 15, maybe.
Oh, in total, right?
Total, yeah.
Okay,
Maybe,
cool.
Maybe not close. Not. I should have been timing it, huh?
It's all good. Yeah. I still feel like we've only been into this like 5, so that's good.
Right? It's hecka quick, especially when you know what you're doing. I think that's why women, we should practice so that when we're ready to go. So the more you avoid your makeup application routine, the harder it is. But when you actually learn it, learn the skill set, learn your eyes, learn your hands, learn your face. Your face on in 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's not that bad at all. Yeah. All right, so that lash is on. So it just gives you a quick bump up. So while that is like on and drying, I'm gonna throw on my lip really quick. Wow. So the lip that I'm using today, this is a color from NYX. It's called Downtown Beauty. It's a liquid matte, kind of dark brown lip color. But what I like to use this for me is as a lip liner. Since it's a liquid matte, it stays on all day and doesn't fade. So I use this as my lip liner.
Yes.
And it's okay if you fill in some of your lip with it. It's fine.
And you said you use that as a lip liner?
It kind of reminds me, for those of you that wear matte cosmetics, it reminds me of the pencil cork. Okay. So it's like a cool medium brown.
Ah, yes. I used to be a MAC diva. Till I fell in love with MK.
I know. They have some great products too, though.
And that's one of the great things I think we'll talk about. Product is important. I think I would say technique is slightly or very much more important. Like once you have technique down, then you can probably almost pick up any product and make it work for you. Would you agree?
Right. Exactly. So that's my lip. Now, a trick that I love to do, especially if I'm taking pictures for Instagram, because I'm not a person that likes to filter, my stuff. But there's other ways to bump up your makeup to make them look more exaggerated, and people won't even be able to tell, like, really put their finger on what you did.
Right.
So one of those things is when you're lining your lips, slightly line outside of the line. It makes the lip look fuller once you put on gloss, and it automatically gives you that pout without pouting your lips. So, yeah, so I don't know if you can see them too.
Well, you have beautiful, gorgeous lips. And so now
Thank you.
How she maximizes.
And so what I did, I just left my natural lip color in the middle. Yeah. That's going to be my liner. Once I pop on my gloss in the middle, it's going to make it pop. This is a gloss from MAC Cosmetics. It's called Money Honey.
Money Honey. That sounds like a good name. That's one of my favorites.
Let me do this right here. See that?
Love it. Ladies, so tell us, hey, Joe, what's going on? That's my boyfriend. He popped in to see my Neo doing her look. And you know what? Until our men that have joined in, now you understand what your wife is doing in the bathroom, and you can even instruct her like, babe, go back in there and blend a little bit more. So this is like a treat we have for you as we pre-dialogue with Sherry. Like, this is her on brand. I want you guys to understand how exciting this is. We were talking about this, I want to say it was May. Were we talking about this in May? And to see it come to fruition in just a short period of time, it was a mindset switch. And boom, that is
not only that, but it was even before May. I just feel like I didn't have the confidence to do anything. Like, conversations had to happen. I was going through some personal stuff, and you and Sora Holly were very instrumental in talking me down when I was going through that. So I've been thinking about it for a long time, but like you said, the mindset, it changed from, I don't think I can do this, it's impossible, to, oh, it's actually attainable. So let me really see what's up. And once you start to grow momentum in that space,
yeah,
people just they're just sent to your path. Like, and then a lot of it too is a lot of work, because you have to work to research if you don't have people around you giving you the information. So that was where most of my time was spent, like just trying to figure out where to go.
Wow. And then boom, look where we're at. Here we are. You
All right, so
eyeshadow palette you can pre-order today, and you have lashes that will restock. If you already got your lashes, just send us a little wave, send us a light on the camera. Come to your house to get mine.
Right. So I'm already done with my makeup. Face is done. We did some eyes. We popped on the lip. Now I'm just going to add a tiny bit of white eyeliner in my waterline. That makes you appear more awake and alert. And then I'm just going to pop on some mascara on my bottom lashes, and that's it.
Full look, under 20 minutes. Did you catch that? Did you guys catch that in the comments? How easy you can get in there and make your face just $1 million face.
And look at those eyes.
Yeah.
How they just pop on camera, like once you add the white. And then we'll get rid of the excess white pencil with the mascara. So my L'Oreal Voluminous is my favorite. Literally every makeup artist in the industry uses this mascara, and it's $8.
Boom. How often should you replace your mascara?
Ooh, every 2 months.
Did you hear that? Please throw that, because I know you guys got it in your drawer. I know you got it in your drawer. Throw it away.
Please, and thank you.
Throw it away. And stop pumping. You're drying yourself more so. Don't add nothing to it, trying to loosen it up. Go get you a new mascara.
Exactly. And just so you know, pumping the mascara, all you're doing is allowing air to get in. It gets trapped, and then it contaminates the product. So if you want longer wear, just take it out, close it back up. If you need to reopen it to reapply, do that. But the pumping, first of all, that means it's almost gone and it's dry. And more than likely, you need to replace it because you've had it more than 3 months.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth. You will find, Sherry, what's one of your favorite makeup products? Like if you had to choose one product, what would that product be?
It'll have to be something with the eyebrows, because I can't live without my eyebrows. So one of my favorites still is MAC eyebrow pencil in Spiked. But what I've been wearing a lot lately, not right now, but lately, my friend Camille, she's a makeup artist, and she has her own makeup line now too, and she has eyebrow pencils. So Camille Ariane Makeup, that's her site, just CamilleArianeMakeup.com. She has a fire eyebrow pencil and brow gel, like really good.
Wow.
Yes. So that's what I've been wearing lately.
Sherry's favorite makeup product is her eyebrow pencils and product. What is yours? Put it in the comments. What is your favorite? Let's see. What is my favorite makeup product? You know what? I think it would be blush for me.
Really?
Yeah, I think I'm a blush. Maybe because I'm cheeky already. So accentuating my cheeks is just, absolutely love it. I love it.
And we are done.
Full face, under 20 minutes.
Simple eye. You have your transition where it looks like, it's darker. Then you have your light color on the lid for the pop. That also draws the attention to the center of your eye, so that makes them look bigger. You don't have to do 800 colors. Like, I know how to do that, but when you're working on set, they don't even want you to do that on set. Wow. Like, they're literally like, can you get this full face done in 10, 15 minutes?
For real. It is
yeah.
Move it. It's a privilege when you actually get 30 minutes to do your own whole face. But
yeah.
Hey, Geraldine. Tootie. So, yes. Face is gorgeous.
Thank you.
Pose for the camera. Hold on. Let me get my camera.
You better not.
I'm like, say hi, Sherry. Okay, so again, we're telling the people, Sherry had this idea for a while.
Yeah.
And definitely, and this is what I was telling you about today. When it was coming close for you to birth it, it's like you had labor pains. That's really, when you look back at it, would you agree those labor pains? Time to launch, and you were trying to figure out why you couldn't, what it's going to take, and it's uncomfortable. That's just labor, baby. Just labor.
Man. Oh, none of that feels good either, by the way. Like, yo, like to be like the moments that I was having when it got closer to me really being like, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Like, it felt like I needed someone to talk me off the ledge, like more than once. Wow. You feel like you're crazy, especially for me. I pride myself on my integrity. And I've just naturally been like that from as young as I can remember, like 7 or 8. Like, I don't want to lie. I don't want to make people feel like they're being cheated. I don't want anyone to ever say that I've taken advantage of them in any type of way. So even when it comes to the products, like, I wanted to be sure, like, is this something that I would wear every day? If it's not, I can't sell it. Period. Because people are going to be investing. And a lot of times in the beginning, people aren't investing in the product just because they believe in the product so much. They're investing in you because they probably connect with you just as a person. You know what I mean? So I don't want to take advantage of that relationship. So I just, in that moment, I was just like, it feels kind of whack, for lack of a better term, to try to launch a business during a pandemic when people need their money more than ever. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I found it as a way for me to be like, now is the time that I actually get a chance to even do this. Because the pandemic actually granted me a certain amount of income that I was able to put away and finally invest in my business. You know?
You have saved in unprecedented times. How many people are actually, when you really look at it, like, I'm really grateful, you know, I'm grateful. And if anything, and Tamika said that she said great artistry and that she follows you also.
Thank you.
Travel Diva. Hey, Travel Diva. We talked to her yesterday. She got all up in my personal business like I get in yours. You guys can see like on my page. But Sherry, it is a privilege to watch you continue to grow and to launch. And what I know for sure is that even in times that are difficult, people want to feel good. They want to feel good. They want to look good. And contributing to others brings joy. Putting their face on brings joy. It's amazing when you walk in your place and your man be like, oh, hey girl. You know, he just kind of rubs the backside a little bit. We love that as women, you know? So, and you're contributing to people's joy. So why not you and why not now? That's that's my question to many people. Like, if you're sitting here with an idea, if you're sitting there waiting, what are you waiting on? Why not you? And why not now?
Yeah. Right now is actually, as scary as it is and as unstable as everything looks, right now is the perfect time to take a risk, because you're going to be able to bounce back. The entire world is in a position right now where we have to figure out how we're going to bounce back from this, no matter how minute or how big. Everybody's in the same position. So during this downturn, it's okay to take a little bit of a loss if you did decide to launch a business and it didn't work.
And here's the deal.
But what if it does?
Right. And here's the deal.
You would never know.
We don't know what's on the other side of this. So if you're getting prompted to move right now, then it's for your good, to cover you for what's coming next. That's a doggy. You know, he be off the chain. Where's Terry? He likes Cam. He likes attention. Hey, baby.
Hi.
How you do? Look at him. He's just adorable. I live by such a baby to have dogs.
Hey, they don't want you outside.
He's fussing.
I have a whole voice for him. Y'all don't even want to know. Like, my family think I'm crazy in the house because I have a voice that I've created that is him.
Really?
Yeah, so I talk as if he's talking.
Artistry at its finest.
Sherry, having full conversations. I'm like, he said that.
Wow. So let's see. You sold out in 6 days of your lashes.
Yes.
You're restocking them.
Yeah.
And what is it? What is your thought as you are looking at your product and creating whatever's next? What's your dominant thought? Your dominant thought?
My most dominant thought is, oh my God, like they actually believed in me. So I know it sounds so stupid to feel that way over a pair of lashes, but it's almost like 17, 18 years, like culmination of a lot of things.
Yeah.
And damn, I said 18. So yeah, it's like as if you're graduating high school. So now I'm finally like an entrepreneur, but I'm at that next stage where now it's college.
Ooh, you know what? Let's talk about that because you know what? So that's a good one, Sherry.
It's a lot more to learn.
People think that I start a business, I'm going to be successful in a year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be successful right now. And the truth is, you are. If you launch, you are already successful. What they don't know is what's not written, is learning your craft, honing in on your people skills. And really seeing success in business is a really 5 to 10 year span. That's why you don't quit. You can't quit.
Yeah.
It's like you haven't even begun to turn. I think corporate businesses launch and prepare for a 5-year deficit at minimum. I think it's 7 years the last time I read the research. Somebody can put it in the comments.
And see, I'm still so new to this that you've been telling me that I haven't even researched that. Yeah. So I'm still in that phase of like, okay, it's working. Let me get my bearings on my day to day. What days am I going to ship? Now I'm going to have to put a structure in place because I'm shipping at the drop of a hat, but I need to be able to streamline this because even though it is my business and I can work when I want, I still need to make sure that part of that schedule is my self-care too. Yeah. And I don't want to be stretched too thin and then I start hating running the business. Mm-hmm. But like you said, you can't quit because now I'm in the position where if I don't go to work,
right,
I will not be able to take care of myself. And I don't have anybody else to blame in this. I can't blame the man. I can't blame the world because this is my thing now. Yeah. So successes as well as failures, I got to be ready to accept all of that as I'm like trying to get my bearings on how to operate as a small business.
This is what I call those wax on, wax off moments. Which is why I always encourage people when you have a vision or an idea to go serve someone else who's already doing it. Because when you learn up and when you serve up, you are prepared for when it's your time, your launch. Think about how many makeup artists you studied under. How many people gave you instructions? How many people, and then how many people you were able to teach?
Yeah.
To come to this.
That too even still trips me out. Like how so many people are like, oh, I remember you from Cheverlyhillz and you taught me how to do my brows. You taught me how to apply my concealer. Like it's when you're younger, because mind you, I was 18 through about 26 when my first big chunk of 8 years there.
Wow.
So I wasn't thinking about any of that.
Yeah.
I was just going to work and I need to make my money. Like I didn't think about how I was actually impacting people till way later in my makeup career, which then shaped how I view my job, which then shaped, ministry does look different. Not everybody's in the pulpit.
Right.
Maybe this is your pulpit and this is what you're supposed to. So once those start to trigger and they start to work together, then now I definitely feel like I operate out of a place of awareness way more. So then that causes me to appreciate when I hear comments like that, because it's still very uncomfortable for me to even accept a compliment or a comment, because I'm like, well, this is just what I'm doing. Like I didn't do anything special, but it is special. And I need to stop downplaying that. Mm-hmm. But that's very uncomfortable for me because I am for real humble.
And you know what? I saw, hey, Satura, I saw your husband purchase some product. And we know he wants to put lashes on or some, but for him to make that investment in you publicly too, girl, What is that like?
One, I'm not surprised because that's just his character.
Yeah.
So get you a good one.
I love it.
Second though, when I saw the order, I was like, oh, he did buy it or whatever. And I asked him who's going to give it to. So he's going to give it to a couple of his family members on the East Coast.
Gotcha.
So I thought that was dope. But what a lot of people don't know either, just a sidebar about my husband and how dope I think he is. He ditched his longtime barber the day that I started school for barbering and cosmetology.
Wow.
So he was just like, you're a barber, so from here on out, you're my barber. So to this day, from the day that I did the most horrible cut to now I'm actually good, he still pays me the same amount for my haircut.
Wow. Wow. Investing. It takes two. Oh my goodness. It takes two.
Yeah.
Wow. So I'm going to open up and say, do you guys have any questions? I see, just come on in, ask Cher if you want to know. She launched her own brand of eyelashes and eyeshadow. The palette is available for pre-order and will launch out on September 1. There goes Cheverlyhillz. Open it up again so they can see the colors on the inside if they're new to the screen. Beautiful colors you will actually use. You ever get one of those eyeshadow palettes and you don't use every color in there?
Exactly. And even these two colors that aren't showing up, it's like a eggshell white, so it's not chalky on the skin. And this is just like a diamond, so like a silver. So that's good frost. I love frost for the holiday season. We're actually coming up on holiday very soon. So I felt like it was just a good palette for the neutral autumn fall type vibe as well as into holiday.
It's a great gift. It's a great gift to teenagers. Ooh, I think I got an idea. Part. So I'm thinking if you purchase one as a gift, we can get about 5 young ladies together between the ages of 12 to 18. We'll do something for the women at a different time, but for the young women, with the All Things Pink organization, and we will get you to come in and teach them some looks and walk them through the steps and do some tutorials. But they have to have it gifted from you, our viewers, their own palette. They need their own palette. Their own palette.
That'd be dope. That's cute.
Okay, so I'm going to gift a session with Sherry for about 5 to 10 young ladies between the ages of 12 to 18 when they are gifted a palette from one of our Dialogue with Mo users. Okay,
that's dope.
So when you do that, is there a note section they can put on when they order their palette, like Dialogue with Mo or DWM, or just send us send me a DM to let me know that you gifted somebody so we can.
I could probably create a code.
Okay.
Or if they can send me an email just on the side, like just send me their confirmation number and then like the confirmation and DM me and saying like, hey, I saw this on Dialogue with Mo.
Yep.
And then I'll keep track that way.
And let me tell you, a session with Sherry is very valuable. So you want to make sure your girl has her palette because she can't come and she ain't got a palette. All right.
That's dope. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So I'm going to remember that, and we'll be after the lashes ship. So probably towards the end of September, we'll look.
Yeah.
We'll make it a nice gifting for the young ladies that come to the virtual platform. Okay.
And since I give all the scoop to Mo and Dialogue with Mo, I'm still unsure with the lash date. Not to go in too much detail, like the lashes are on their way. But I wasn't happy with a certain aspect of it because the first 100 ladies got my limited edition acrylic box, and that's the collector's box. I designed a secondary box for all of the rest of my lashes, and I didn't want to offer them without this box. So I'm looking at the end of 8/31, like August 31st, September, sometime around there where I actually have my hands on what I need to present it the way that I want to.
Wow.
So yeah.
And you have a couple questions in here. So
yeah.
And we see Tyrone. We talked a little bit about her journey, so we're gonna come back to that. But I'm gonna give you all questions at once.
Okay.
So the Tyrone's question is, how has your journey been to finally produce your product? And then Tamika wants to know about the myth of not wearing frost over the age of 40,
Mm-hmm.
and suggestions or tips for deeply hooded eyes.
Wait, say the last one.
Suggestions or tips for deeply hooded eyes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will take the makeup questions first.
Yes.
For deeply hooded eyes, that's when the skin kind of droops over and it creates, you still have a lid there, but it covers like part of your lid.
Right, right.
There's 1 to 2 things you can do. And I will explain why one of these I prefer more. The first thing you can do is actually create a crease. So for example, with Mosie's eye shape, she has her lid there, but it's a very slim portion of it that's exposed.
Yeah, right.
Everything else is the skin that's hooded over it.
Right.
So what you can do is actually do an eyeshadow base and create where you want your crease. So basically create a half moon with concealer or your eyeshadow base, and you apply all of the whatever color you're going to wear on your lid on that area.
Yep.
It'll heighten the space, make it appear you have a fuller lid. However, it can look made up. You can definitely, if you're going for a natural look, your makeup is already going to go from natural to a little bit more extreme because you're creating the crease. And that's a really popular technique out here, especially on Instagram, the cut crease.
Right.
And that's typically used for exaggeration purposes.
Right. Right.
The second thing you can do with a hooded lid is just to go with it. It looks the most natural. It looks the most, what's the word I'm looking for? It doesn't look forced. You know what I mean? Especially if you're getting into makeup and you're learning these things, I definitely wouldn't start with trying to create a cut crease. That's a technique that actually takes a lot of time and a lot of practice to get. And just to give you some perspective, I'm still unable to execute a cut crease on myself how I want to versus on a client.
Yeah.
I can do it on a client, but for me, it's still like something very difficult. It just looks like it's too much going on my eyes because I already have large eyes. Right. So I try to tell women just go with what your skin and what your face is doing.
Yes.
It's so unique. It makes the makeup look more unique. You don't look like anybody else. So I would suggest just doing the light color or whatever you want to do on your lid, just on that sliver that's showing. And if you want to recede the hooded part, you want to do a dark color. So people with this type of eye shape, they actually look best in smoky eyes. And the reason why that is if you're doing a dark color all over the lid and shading up into the crease, it's recessing the light from that area. When you add the light color on your lid, it's pushing forward the light. So that illusion used with color is what creates the appearance of a flatter surface, more balanced surface. So yes, makeup is definitely not about just slapping it on. A lot of the time, the technique is behind, hey, this person's eye is more droopy than the other. So I have to apply higher here as opposed to just doing it normal on this side. Right. Where the blending comes in is where you get that diffusion of color to where you can't tell where you made these different tweaks on the face. Same with lining lips. Sometimes a lip is a little bit lower than the other. So you will overdraw that lip and draw the other one just normal to balance it out. Because everybody's face is a little bit higher or lower on one side.
Right.
That's just how we're made as humans. You know what I mean? So go with what you have going on because it'll look less contrived and more natural and more flattering on you.
That's good.
Yeah. So that was for the recessed eyes. Yeah. What was the other question?
Wearing frost over the age of 40.
Okay, so a lot of women are concerned about wearing frost on their eyes past a certain age because, of course, the skin around our eyes is the most delicate. So it is the most, what's the word I'm looking for? It's more prone to aging quicker than any of the other skin on our body because of how thin it is. So a lot of women past 40, even past 35, get wrinkling or the skin becomes loose. In those circumstances, I would definitely say stay away from frosted eyeshadows because once again, the frost, it's coming towards the light. So it will make your lines even more noticeable if you're wearing a frost on top. Now, what you can do is wear an eyeshadow base, something that's like a cream texture that's, water resistant, waterproof, even a concealer that's water resistant, waterproof. Put that all over your lid in a shade that's maybe 1 to 2 shades lighter than your actual skin tone. Mm-hmm. And then use matte colored eyeshadows. So eyeshadows that are flat, matte in tone, because that will diffuse any of the lines or the wrinkles that you're concerned with on your eyelid. It'll smooth it out a bit. So even in those circumstances, women like that, a smoky eye is really good too. If you stick with the dark browns and the rust browns on top of a matte base.
And call me so we can get your eye area together. Put some product on those eyes. Yeah.
Now, Tyrone's question was about
your journey. He said, how has your journey been to finally produce to your final product? How has that journey been? And maybe I think, Tyrone, you can tell us, but I think he's talking about more so, and he respects you for wanting to put out your best product. So when you had to like send some stuff back, corrections, that kind of thing. What was that like?
Right. Oh yeah, just so FYI, sidebar about the palette, it is vegan and cruelty free. So it's healthy for your skin, you can use it.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say about my journey, in the very beginning, it was frustrating because you have to learn the lingo and you need to find your footing. So in the beginning, I felt like I would come up against something and I would automatically want to retreat. So I had that back and forth for a while. And then I realized, like, hey, if I really want to see this through, if I really want to stick to my word and do this, then whatever comes, I just have to come up against it and deal with it.
Yeah.
So my frustration led to like, okay, I'll relax a little bit, but I'm still going to be consistent daily on this goal. And it just started with me just writing certain goals, like, talk to this person about packaging, talk to this person about lash length, talk to this person about the size of the tray that's going to go into the box. Even with that, this is a really good thing about entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
I had to postpone when I wanted to launch my lashes initially because the trays that came didn't fit my acrylic box. So I had to special order 100 trays that were a lot smaller in size, but that also meant that I had to literally by hand with gloves and tweezers take each lash, put it on the small tray to fit into the acrylic boxes that went out.
Wow.
So all of that could have been, solved had I just measured the box in the first place. So it's little tweaks like that you learn along the way that's like, oh, this is irritating. I have to spend more money. I'm trying to stay below this budget.
Right.
So yeah, it went from frustration to, okay, I can do this, to, oh, wow, it's happening. And then once I actually pressed live on my store, I didn't even sleep that night before. Like I couldn't go to sleep. Wow. And then next thing I know, I finally fell asleep and I woke up and my phone was just pinging.
Ping,
ping. New order.
Those are beautiful words for entrepreneurs.
And I was just money. Like, so it started off and I was like, oh, babe, like, people are ordering. And it went from 2 to 3 to 20 in a day to 10, 15 the next day. And I'm like, oh my God, because I had given myself 90 days to sell 100 pairs of lashes. I was like, if I can do like 10 to 15 pairs a week, I'll be good.
Girl, and look.
And it turned into 6 days. So that was the only reason why I wasn't prepared, because in my mind, I was like, 100 pairs of lashes, that's a lot. In hindsight, I'm like, okay, I can't necessarily say that's a lot because people are ordering 6 and 8 pairs at a time.
Yep. That's exceedingly abundantly above all you can ever imagine, ask, or think. That's what I'm talking about.
So the journey is very up and down, your highs and your lows. Yeah. It's different every day. And like I said, I'm just now getting to the point where it's like, okay, I'm sitting down and figuring out what type of business operations I want to run weekly that I'm able to best sustain, as well as not compromising my day or two here for self-care, because that's really important for me.
Yeah. And you know what, Sherry, I'm glad you said that, because there's a thought. There's some people, and you have to go with what, and Tyrone says, thank you for sharing. Great info for other entrepreneurs that are starting up. Yes, let's talk about that startup, because there's a couple thoughts. The thought is that you solidify your foundation before you launch anything. And then there's others that's like, get in the water and kick. You know, so you have to know who you are and what your type is, and you need to pay attention to the season. So that's why coaching is important, to have a mentor, have a coach, have colleagues that are in the same profession. You know, we all, like Sherry and I are both in makeup in different companies, but we know times and seasons. So we have some similarities we could talk about.
Yeah.
And it's like, and sometimes if you're waiting for all lights to be green, you will miss your launch. Your launch would be like, pew, pew.
Just so you guys know, my launches would have they would have launched like 2 weeks later than the date they actually did if I hadn't had the conversation with Mosi that week.
Wow. Wow.
Because I was like, this is still not right to me. And it wasn't nothing with the product quality. It was just how I envisioned this rollout. You know what I mean? And thank God, you know, when you have to be your own social media person, you have to be your own marketing person, you have to write all the copy, you have to stand behind the product, you have to wear the product, you have to video yourself with the product. That is a lot of work. And I just wanted it to roll out in a way that looked very professional and high end. But when you don't have a budget for that, and you are the creative source for everything that your business is doing at the moment, you expend a lot of energy, like a whole lot of energy. And so I was so concerned about it not appearing a certain way.
Yeah.
But Mosi was like, just do it. Like, you have everything you need, just do it. What are you waiting on? I'm like, well, I want this to look like. She was like, for what? The product is great. That's it. Yeah. So once I took that advice and launched it, I think I ended up launching it 2 or 3 days after we had that conversation.
Wow. Yeah.
But in that few days, I created what my campaign, what my draw was going to be. I revealed each lash individually each day on my social. I started to do more videos and make people aware, and it just started to line up and fall in place.
Yeah. Sherry, I love speaking with you, because sometimes when people don't know, I don't even know the fullness of the whole story. I just be like, cut it right here. We're going to get started. Like, what we waiting on? Get in the water and kick. You got all the fundamentals you need. Go.
Right. Right.
That ain't for everybody, but it was for her.
Right.
For her. Some people I'll be like, you need to go back to the drawing board. It's privilege coaching. But I do have a girl I'll refer you to that does coaching. I do privilege coaching. So I'm so excited for you, because it really, everything was lined up for you. And it was almost like, and the people were just waiting and like, okay. And because you are integrous with yourself, I'm going to just put something out. Girl, hold on. Now I'm about to get on a soapbox. You're not going to just put something out to take people's money. Now, be aware that there are people out there and brands out there that just want your money.
A lot.
Yeah.
Especially on social media.
Yep.
And that's not even me being petty or being negative. There's a lot.
Let's talk about that for a moment. We don't have to, call out no names.
Yeah.
But you had an experience with people who were not the brand that they were presenting, right?
Yeah. All the time.
Yep.
Yeah. It starts with this false sense of relatability that they like to portray. Yeah. And then they use that to draw. And then once you actually call people on what it is that they say they do, they either fall back completely or they kind of dodge you, as if whatever you have going on doesn't matter because it's not as big as what they got going on. Now, and this is how you know I'm serious, because I'm in my deep, stern voice. But when I experienced that the first time, I still was like, okay, I'm going to give this person benefit of the doubt. I had a conversation with Mosi, and she was just like, yeah, I would just leave it alone. You don't know, but even still, I ended up having that conversation later. And a couple of days later with her. And it wasn't about what we spoke on. I just had a conversation about how we could possibly work together in business. for the stuff I needed for my brand. That call ended with X, Y, and Z will be done, and I will present it to you by the end of this week via email, to me never seeing that email. And had I been waiting for that particular business partnership to happen in order for my brand to launch, I would not be launching because I wouldn't be prepared. So it was that propelled me to be like, I can do all the things that I'm asking this company to do. It's just going to take me a lot more time. It's going to take me a lot more energy, but it's not like I'm not capable. Yeah. So once I just dug in and started creating my own stuff, I was like, oh, it took me about a day. I got it. Even if they do hit me up, I'm good. Yep. I figured it out.
And that's so important. That's what people need to know. Like sometimes we're always looking for the guru to help us, or reaching out because we don't feel we have that notoriety. I can't say the word. We're not that notoriety. That yet. And it's like, that's not true. Like if you have the vision, I am a stern believer. If I have the vision, the help will show up as I start moving my feet. As I still make flyers with pick collage.
But not only that, the help comes to find you once you help yourself.
Boom.
So once I helped myself and was like, okay, I can do X, Y, and Z, then all of a sudden, people were like, oh, your rollout looks great. Who did your rollout? Oh, I did. Yeah. Who did this? I did. Yeah. And God did.
Yeah. Yeah.
He just had to still me long enough to be like, yo, stop outsourcing all of these jobs because you feel like you're not good enough at those jobs. You can figure it out for now. And when you get the chance or the opportunity to do it in the future, you'll be able to do it exactly how you want it because you have the money and whatever to do that. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter in the beginning. What matters is that you start and you put your best foot forward as best to your ability. Because sometimes what you think is your worst is still someone else's best or somebody else's amazing.
Girl, you said my key word for the month, and it's been for the last 2 months. Start. Just start. S-T-A-R-T, start. I'm telling you. It's a program coming. But start where you are. You'll see me on my social media posting the little table I have set up. And as I'm transitioning to find my perfect desk, I have a vision of it. I just haven't found it yet. But but you don't stop and wait because everything is not, crisp and Cheverlyhillz, quality Rodeo Drive. You get started with what you have available, and then the increase comes. I truly believe that. So evidently some of y'all are supposed to be getting started on something. And And then let's see. So Tyrone says, always need someone to mentor and push you up. To see that you have a good product or brand. His wife kept on pushing back her date to resign from her job and do her private marriage family therapy practice. I asked her, what was she waiting for? Tyrone's such a good husband.
Yes.
Stepped out and now she has an established good clientele. We're going to bring her to the dialogue. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes. It takes two, though.
It takes two to make a thing go right.
Man.
Okay, I'm telling my age.
You need a partner in this thing. And if you're married, that's a bonus because not a lot of people out here have supportive mates or husbands or boyfriends, girlfriends, whoever. So if you have that in somebody, that you're already rich, low key, because that's one of the hardest things to come by is just somebody that's going to always be there and support you and correct in love, because it's not always, go push the button. Sometimes it's not right now. Let's be patient. Yeah. You know what I mean? But you can always tell when it's done in love or when it's done out of jealousy and trying to make someone else stagnant. You know what I mean? So kudos to you, Tyrone.
Yeah. And there's a statement a phrase that I live by is there's nothing two can't do when one of them is God and the other one is you. So,
wow.
And that comes when you have a partner too. That's that's a triple threat. And when it's a 3-strand cord is not easily broke. I mean, so it's amazing. And I think as for the single ladies, You ain't single that long. But if you're single right now, know that your partnership, it's important that you're moving in what you're supposed to move in right now. Because I believe in
Mm-hmm.
authenticity also. So if I paint this illusion like my life is not as, you know, moving, I was going to say grandeur, because it is. Let's keep it real. As it is, and he comes into your life and he thinks, oh, this is the package I'm getting, and then all of a sudden you got all these extras, you know, that are attached to it. That's not fair. So
Mm-hmm.
a person can make
Yeah.
a full assessment. Walk in everything that you're supposed to be doing right
Yeah.
now, so you can present the self that you really are to receive the mate you're supposed to have.
Yes.
You're in your purpose. Oh my
Oh
God,
my God.
that's a word.
Man, this ain't no relationship lie. We've
Right.
been there, done that, but I got so much more to say about all of that. So one day.
We're gonna have another dialogue. We're gonna bring it back because we need to bring back. I think I want to do couples. I think I want to do couples for the next special relationship and communication.
Okay.
I really believe I want to do couples. We'll make that a special focus. And teamwork does make the dream work. Team Robinson, go, go! I'm telling you,
Right?
yes,
Lit.
it's both. So we got a couple more minutes, and anything else
Mm-hmm.
you want to share? Party words you want to share with the people? Of course, you want to remind them. Cheverlyhillz.com. It is in the comments. Go get your
Yes, and
eyeshot
that's Hills with a Z.
with the Z.
Because a lot of Hills with a Z on the end. For those of you that want to receive free shipping on your eyeshadow palettes, please use the free shipping code. It is I love Chevy. I love Chevy. So EYE love Chevy, all caps, and you will receive free shipping on your pre-order. And those shipments will go out a couple of days before September 1st, so you can have it for the month of the launch.
And remember, when you gift, I have up to 10 slots available. So when you gift the palette to a youth, she can come to a special session with Sherry.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you,
That's
it's
dope.
gonna be dynamic because they're gonna get some other stuff too. I'm just not telling y'all what it is yet. I'm
And
gonna
I love the kids, so they're not going to be leaving looking crazy. It's going to be very teen, young adult friendly.
Yep. So, but you got to gift it to her. Send Sherry a message, an email, drop it in my inbox, and let us know. So it's gonna be lit. I'm telling y'all, this last quarter of the year, if you rolling with the dialogue with Mo, we lit. Like,
man,
we selling out.
You said too, leave some parting words. I don't have parting words yet, but because I always give you and your platform the exclusive.
But don't do that yet. I'm gonna pause you. Don't do it yet, because I want you to tell Tyrone where the name Cheverlyhillz came from.
Oh, okay. So this is so like, oh God, where was my head at? But everybody knows, or a lot of people know, that I used to do music. I've been singing since about 11 years old. I still do it here and there, backgrounds with my friends and stuff in the industry. But when I was about 16, I was working with a producer, and he came up with my stage name, which was Chevy Jones. I don't know how he did it, but he knew I liked the old, like, Chevy 6'4". So he was like, Chevy Jones. It sounds classic, whatever. Cool. So that was my name. The first name of my project, though, was Hollyhood.
Yeah.
So it had a lot of, like, all of the West Coast rappers that are, like, really cracking down. They were all on my project in the very beginning. This is about 2005. So that was called Hollyhood. My second installment was supposed to be Cheverlyhillz.
Wow.
And Cheverlyhillz was the take on, like, you know, hood to the hills. Yeah. It was supposed to be like a graduation of sorts, me not doing so much of the hip hop and more R&B type music or whatever. So I changed my name on Instagram to, I think was Let's Go Chevy at first for a while. And I changed it to Cheverlyhillz because I said I'm going to launch this project and that's what it's going to be called. Well, I never did the project. I kept my name the same. It just kind of stuck. And when me and my husband were discussing what I would call my brand, I said my name was going to be too long. You know, I didn't want to use my whole name. So, and then everybody does their first and middle name makeup. I didn't want it to be like that. And I was like, no, I think he was like, well, just call it Cheverlyhillz. People think that's your name anyway. Because a lot of people, even when they DM me, they'll be like, hey, Cheverly. And I'm like, my name is Sherry, but okay. You know what I mean? But yeah, so he was like, people think that's your name anyway. They see it all the time. They're going to remember it. And I was like, okay, we'll see. And then it didn't become real to me until I actually paid to get my logo done. And I told her the idea. I said, I kind of wanted to give me the vibe of like Beverly Hills, but very cute and dainty. Mm-hmm. And I said, I want you to put lips over the letter I, not a dot. And so she was like, okay. And she came back and she was like, I did this logo and it's the old school Beverly Hills writing. So that's my logo. If you look at it, if you look at the Beverly Hills Hotel, how it's written, my Cheverlyhillz is written with that same type of font.
Wow. Amazing. He said, okay, took it to another level of respect. Now go ahead and give the people what you're going to say. Thank you.
Okay, so all I have to say, because I can't say everything, of course, but y'all know way more than anybody else at this point. All I have to say is holiday is coming up. And I will have something for the ladies for holiday. I still have to think about something for my men because I got called out and one of my followers was like, hey, you can still get some love to us brothers, figure out some type of beard butter or something. And I was like, I hear you, but I'm not trying to delve into skincare or anything like that at the moment. You know what I mean? But I want to figure out something, but I will have something available for holiday. And it's something that all of my followers on my page have been asking me to provide for them. So that's all I can say right now.
You heard it here first. Dialogue with Mo.
Yeah. And I'm hoping to have something for Black Friday, but we'll see.
Sherry, we love you. We support you. We are excited to see the great things coming for you and that the peace of God is protecting and guarding your heart and your mind as you know what? Go forward.
I'm so sorry. Can I say this before I get off?
Absolutely.
How many more minutes we have?
I got as much time as you got. We're going to probably give people like 15 more minutes.
Okay. So I've been on a social media fast for the past 7 days. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think today is actually day 7 for us. But so for those of you who have been following me on social all this week, it has not been me posting. It's been my publicist who so graciously said that she would help me this week so I can fully step away. So I haven't been on Instagram or Facebook in the past 7 days. Mm-hmm. My reasoning for it was actually prompted by a friend of mine who, she's a doctor, and she noticed something on my social and she was like, I just finished this fast. Would you want to try to do it? And it came at a time where, unbeknownst to me, I wasn't even aware that I was already fasting physically. Like I hadn't been eating. My food patterns and everything changed in the past couple of days or so. And I found that I wasn't eating till like 4 or 5 p.m. So when she said to do this fast, I was like, oh, like it kind of fits in with what I'm doing already. I'll give it a try. But all that to say, it reminded me how important it is to make sure that you stay grounded and keep the focus on God, no matter what else is going on. Because my first initial thought was me being away from my social media, I'm not going to be able to post how I want. You know, relinquishing that control was difficult for one. And for two, I was just like, I'm not going to make any sales. Wow. And she said, that's the main reason why you should do this fast. Yeah. Because God is going to provide regardless. Ooh. And if you don't full-heartedly believe that, then you need to do this social media fast and get closer to God. So I wanted to say thank you to my friend, Dr. Kanisha Bennett. She's also does spiritual dance and teaches young girls. She has a school for it. But I want to thank her because during this week, I've realized just how much God is taking care of me and us all. During this time, and that if you're worried about making a sale, like don't, like everything is going to happen as it's supposed to happen. But this social media fast really taught me, one, how dependent I am on seeing what's going on or feeling like I'm in the know.
Let me tell you, Sherry. Yeah. And this is for the people who don't know. Like money to the Lord is like the minimum trust factor. Like, it's like how you trust somebody with, like, can they make popcorn? You know, well, that's a big trust for me. Can make popcorn. But it's so minute. It's like, can you mail this letter? Like, it is so minute. So when he asks you to trust him with money, it's for the benefit of the long haul. Because I'm telling you, I promise you all, when you got to trust the Lord with a next direction, with your health, with your life, with everything else, you will realize how easy it was for the money. So the money is actually the test at the beginning to know that he's going to provide.
Yeah.
So just so you guys know, if you don't know that, like, if you, money is not the biggest thing for the Lord. It's like, I got provision comes.
Yeah.
Provision will always just flow. But when the deeper things and purpose and direction and language and connection, when you got to trust him in those things,
yeah,
you'll be happy that you trusted him with the money.
Yeah. And what I wanted to say too is that during that time though, like I've been in my devotional, I've been reading my word, and now I feel like I'm in that space where I'm starting to find my routine that works for me. Like you wake up, you pray, you do all these things to give to yourself, because that's self-care too.
Yes.
You want to make sure that you give to yourself after you give to God first thing in the morning. And what's great about that is that it's an energy exchange. So you're not losing out on anything.
Yeah.
But all that spins into my fitness, because I'm naturally fasting. I've been fasting for, this is day 4 right now. I literally don't eat 20 hours of the day. I eat between 4 and 8 p.m. That's it. I'm not hungry. I'm eating very like plant-based and healthy within that window. And it's a whole science behind why I'm doing it, but I'm seeing great results. But the biggest result is the clarity you gain from hearing from God, because your body is clear. And me getting closer to God. So for anybody out there that's interested in entrepreneurship, don't be afraid to take God with you. I'm so open to being like a testimony, and yet also very real.
Yeah.
I'm that type of person that will be blessed and then forget that God took me out of stuff. So I'm constantly having to be reminded that you need God in everything that you do. So take them into your business. The people that will receive it will receive it. The people who aren't meant to, they will be, pushed to the side.
Amen.
Yeah.
That's a word. And that's a word I think you have given the people for themselves and for those that they love. And the blessing is still intact. And it's a great thing. And see, we won't get into, because I can get in there and we can preach it. But the main thing is, like, when people got to remember, the blessing adds no sorrow, the blessing of the Lord. So that's why if you're moving in some stuff, you better make sure it's the blessing, because it said it adds no sorrow to you.
Let me piggyback off of that too, really quick. We done went the whole.
Hey, now they see how we work.
Right. But just to piggyback off of that, I think a lot of times in our community, Black people, we give up, or we don't even attempt certain things because of just the language that has been kind of thrown around. So we don't even realize that we've been conditioned to believe certain words mean certain things. So for instance, when I first started my business, and it was hard and it was like very challenging just to get over some of these hurdles, my first initial thing was like, this is too much. It's not supposed to be hard. But the thing is, was it adding any sorrow? No. It's making me uncomfortable. Right. So instead of me saying that this is hard, I can't do it, you have to change it to, this is very hard, but I can do all things. Or, you know what I mean? This is very hard, but I'm going to learn, and I'm going to be put, through the fire, and I'm going to come out as good as gold. Like, you have to remind yourself those things, because we trick ourselves into quitting a lot of times by saying that it's too hard, or defining what hard is or what it should be. But it's hard working for yourself, but it's not adding any additional sorrow.
And you paint the vision, and one of the things you're doing now, you're painting a vision before you even put your hand to something. Like, when you get clarity about what you want it to look like, that's my judgment tool. Like, okay, boom. I mean, like, when I moved into my home, I remember thinking it was going to be the same color as my last place I left. And it was like, no.
Right.
Calm down and just kind of get the sensing. Like, I grabbed like 4 paint colors. 2 I had in my old place, and 2 I was just like, oh, these are kind of cute on the paper. And do you know, the 2 that was kind of cute on the paper was the colors that you guys see now. And I put it on the wall. It was like everything, life just came up out of it. Like, yes, this is it. But so I really believe in painting the vision before you start moving in a direction. So you have something to gauge it by. Get still, get clear. Like you said, fasting. If you are at a place where you need to make a decision, food is one of the number one things you can remove to help, because it creates a discipline in yourself. Sometimes yesterday I found myself chomping on some candy because I was hungry, but I didn't want to stop what I was doing to go do the work, to go to make something to eat. I was like, Mosi, stop. Move the candy, number one. Number two, it's discipline. It's discipline. Disciplining your mind, disciplining your thoughts, your body. That's where the real work starts. So that when I go to actually meet somebody, it's like one introduction. And it's like, boom, I got everything I needed. It's like, People think I took 2 weeks of clearing my mind and getting the vision clear what I wanted. Asking questions. So,
I just feel like people, if we really realize how, okay, take your body for instance. Think of your body and as if it's like filled with smoke. Like your entire body is filled with smoke. All fasting does is clear out all of the smoke, all the stuff that your body can't process, all of the things that your body is no longer, dealing with, expels it. But when you keep your body in a clean state like that, you also have to think about being a receiver. So you made the pathway and the airways clear for whatever is supposed to come in. Now, yes, you want to stay protected so you can also block the things that try to get in that aren't meant to be there. But that's self-talk, and that's a whole nother thing. But do whatever you can to clear out your vessel so that you can be refilled with what's for you and you can receive what's for you. Because a lot of times we like to blame outside sources for what's blocking us from certain things when it's really us, because we haven't let go of trauma. We haven't let go of what this person said. We haven't let go of what was done to us. But once you clear all of that gunk out by actually having those hard conversations and dealing with yourself, you allow all that's for you by your birthright to be poured back into you.
Sherry, and even relating it back to makeup, it's like you trying to do an eye that look like you have on your eyes now with makeup already on your face. You do that. You got to cleanse your face and start from a fresh.
You got to start with a clean slate.
That's good. That's good. You got
and a clean slate don't mean perfect either. So let's not get that part twisted. Because I'm
telling you,
I mess up all the time.
Right? I'm telling y'all, I'm like,
I mess up all the time. I need a conversation all the time. Like, but don't be afraid to reach out. Shoot, for real.
And then you learn, because I be like, when I'm on the beach, I don't stare too long at those empty chests. I be like, oh, Jesus, help us, sister.
Oh my God.
You do learn control. You know your triggers. You learn your things that kind of take you off. You learn how to give yourself space and grace. And that's why I believe in a relationship. I don't know what other people believe. I know that there are other beliefs, but for what I know, the relationship I've had with Christ has literally changed my life for the good. And even when it was hard, I remember when it was hard, and to look back like it doesn't hurt anymore. Thank God for the hard, because you know what? It made me strength for someone else. So or
those times when you're like, dang, I remember that happened to me. But if that wouldn't have happened that bad, then I wouldn't experience this that happened way over there.
I'd still be there with the foolish.
Man. Listen.
Woo! And look, we're launching brands, changing lives. You're inspiring others, and you're learning how important you are. That Sherry comes first. Sherry comes first. And so as you put yourself first, you could be someone else's better half, better whole. Let's say it like that, better whole.
Better whole.
Better whole. So I love you. I appreciate you.
I love you too. Thank you so much.
Thank you to the Dialogue with Mo family for tuning in, checking us out, giving love to our sister girls. Remember, Cheverlyhillz with the Z.com is in the comments. Go and purchase your eyeshadow palettes. know that the eyelashes are coming back into full stock.
Mm-hmm.
And when you gift your palette to a teen between the age of 12 and 18, she will get her own special session, the first 10, with Miss Sherry. Okay.
Thank you.
Love and
Mm-hmm.
appreciate you. Bye,
Thank
Facebook.
you. Love you. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Okay, we stop the live stream and
Mm-hmm.
let me stop the record.